Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. My name is Ashton Dougherty and I'm the board treasurer for the Lupus Foundation of America Lone Star chapter. I wanted to share a little bit about my lupus history with you guys and how I became more involved with my local Lone Star chapter. On January 22nd, 2017, I went to the doctor's office after experiencing nausea and vomiting in hopes of going back to work the next day. That did not happen. I went home and I fell asleep and I woke up with paramedics in my bedroom and my husband telling me that I had just had a seizure. I told them I was fine and I didn't want to accept what they were telling me. I didn't want to go to the hospital, but I didn't have any other choice. My condition started to worsen while I was there with no real answers being given to me. I did not remember most of my time there, but I started regressing very quickly with hallucinations, hyperventilation, and very high hypertension. I continued to have seizures while I was being given anti-seizure medication. I was then moved to the ICU because I could no longer breathe on my own. My condition started to worsen more, and I was care flighted to UT Southwestern Hospital in Dallas, Texas. Here, I was being intubated due to uncontrolled rapid breathing and accompanied by seizures. I was in a coma and on machine-assisted breathing for most of my stay. During my entire hospital stay, I experienced hypoxemic respiratory failure, kidney failure, and an abnormal thyroid profile. Over a month of being in the hospital with continued no real answers being given to me, I found out on February 14th, 2017, that I was diagnosed with systemic lupus erythematosus with cerebritis at 24 years old. During my time here, all I wanted to do was go home. I wanted to be in my own bed. All I wanted to do was have things go back to normal. I didn't want to have to take all the pills that were being handed to me, and I was still trying to wrap my head around what lupus was. I felt so alone and helpless. I felt like there was something wrong with me. My body could no longer tell the difference between healthy tissues and not knowing the difference between unhealthy ones. I had never even heard of lupus, and no one in my family had ever had it before, so why me? Then I learned that I needed even further rehabilitation due to my traumatic brain injury and from inflammation. I learned how to walk, talk, and do simple tasks again. I learned how to walk because my muscles in my legs had atrophied. I learned how to talk again because after being intubated for so long, my vocal cords were shot. I was told that I would need further rehabilitation due to my acquired brain injury and was referred then to a specialized outpatient brain injury rehabilitation program for post-acute neuro patients. All I wanted to do was go back to work and get back to my normal life. I told my family at the time that I would give this outpatient rehab like a week. And 3.5 months later, I went back to work. I didn't leave that program until June 15th, 2017. So joke's on you, Ashton. Every day I was picked up from home at 8 a.m. and I returned at 4:30 p.m. Each and every day, Monday through Friday, 5 days a week and 6 hours a day for 3 months. While I was here, I underwent occupational, physical, and speech therapy. I had to work on my mobility skills, including balance and coordination. I was a fall risk and had to wear a belt around my waist in case I fell. It was here where I learned how to get my endurance and strength back. Here I learned that I could no longer go out with my friends, and because no longer as I used to. I could no longer go to the beach in my swimsuit because my skin wasn't like most people. I learned that I couldn't just go grab a drink with my friends because I was on 38 medications, including vitamins, that don't drink with alcohol. Here I received education and training on seizures because this was my new life, and I needed to know what to do in case I had another seizure. Here I had to learn how to do simple math again. I was an accountant and doing math at a 5th and 6th grade level. It was here where I first started to recognize and understand my new deficits and how much I really needed my family's help and understanding through this new journey. Family counseling is hard, but for those with a chronic illness, I think it's very important because it doesn't just affect your life, but those around you as well. After I left, I wanted to get back to work right away. I was an accountant and working at a public accounting firm at the time, and as an auditor, and it was during busy season. Everyone around me knew that I had a long road of recovery, but myself. I was told by my doctors that I was going back to work too soon. I didn't listen to that advice and I paid for it later. I was let go from my job 2 months later. After being let go, instead of taking time off like I needed, I again hit the ground running and started interviewing like crazy to find another job, and I hated the feeling of not being in control. I wasn't about to let lupus take over my life, at least that's how I thought about it back then. I was also in a lot of financial debt, and the amount of medical bills were overwhelming, and I knew I needed to get a job that was going to pay well. I wanted to make that job work, but I was miserable. I wanted to put in so much time. I felt like I was putting in so much time and effort, and I felt like I had nothing to show for it. Then in April 2018, I was let go again. Now, this was a huge hit to my gut, my pride. Once again, the reasons being, you aren't where we want you to be for the time that you've been here for. Now, to hear those words tell you, but not once, but twice in 1 year, made me realize I did need to take some time off. It was too soon for me to go back to work. I wasn't ready for it, and I should have listened to my doctors at rehab. That forced me to question so much about life and on where and what I want to do with it. I've done a lot of searching to figure out that question, what am I passionate about? 3.5 years ago, I never dreamed that would be lupus, actually. I'm passionate about helping others and making sure that their road to recovery was as smooth as mine was. I want to help people on their journey to recovery and share my story with others that it is possible. You will get through this. I haven't figured out what that job might be yet, but I'm very excited to know the answer to that question. When I look back at my time over these last few years, I can't but think how much my life has changed. What was once normal is no longer the same for me. For me, my new normal is going to these doctor's visits, keeping up with my medications, and contacting my doctors because I know there is no other choice for me. Since being diagnosed in 2017, I have had a total of 520 doctor's appointments. I've had one lengthy 3-month hospital stay, 3.5 months of rehabilitation, and multiple seizures and hospital visits in between. I've never dreamed that this is how I would be spending my 20s and spending tens of thousands of dollars on medical bills. My life now consists of volunteering with the Lupus Foundation of America Lone Star chapter and also going to my doctor's visits. I currently have a team of 25 doctors that I see on a regular basis. These appointments make it almost impossible for me to have a full-time job. Going to my doctor's visits, getting my lab work done, going to imaging, and keeping up with my 38 different medications that do include vitamins as well, I take on a daily basis. This in itself is a full-time job. And it has become a norm for me to get up in the morning and have some kind of testing or doctor's appointments that day. My involvement with the Lupus Foundation of America Lone Star chapter all started with a team captain pizza party for the annual DFW Walk for Lupus in April of 2019. I wanted to get more involved in the foundation, I just didn't know how. I worked up the courage to talk with the board member on how I could get more involved. She let me know that they were looking for someone on the board of directors. I couldn't believe what she was saying. This was exactly what I wanted to do. Then on May 14th, 2019, I became a member on the board of directors, and in October 2020, board treasurer for the Lupus Foundation of America Lone Star chapter. I have never felt more proud of and more at home of the work that I get to do. I finally rose where I was meant to be. The Lupus Foundation of America has given me my sense of purpose back in life. Being diagnosed with lupus erythematosus at 24 years old was something I didn't ask for. My life has been flipped upside down, going from a promising career in public accounting and then working on my CPA at the time to being diagnosed with lupus erythematosus. No one asked to have a chronic illness. However, I believe it's what you make of it that really counts. My life isn't where I thought it would be 3 years ago, but it's so much more. I think it's important for patients to have a village of support and to be able to get the tools they need to have open and honest conversations with their physicians. Women want and need tailored information and resources about lupus, and this is why I love volunteering for Lupus Foundation of America. I love being on the board for LFA because they have realized that need and created programs, for example, the Walk for Lupus, Lupus Gala, and other education opportunities. So patients everywhere could find the support and tools that they need right at their fingertips. I also wanted to mention that our upcoming virtual Mardi Gras Gala, with this year's theme being Behind Every Mask is a Face. I hope to see each of you there by signing up for the virtual gala by visiting lupusgala-dallas.org on Saturday, September 25th, and help us achieve our fundraising goal. You'll be supporting the foundation's efforts to improve the quality of life for all those affected by lupus. You can also support by making a secure contribution on our website by signing up for the virtual gala by visiting lupusgala-dallas.org. Every single dollar counts. The silent auction was open on September 1st and is open for bidding on our website. Your generous support makes our ongoing community and programs, medical research, education, and patient advocacy possible. And more importantly, it will make a difference in the lives of everyone affected by lupus. Thank you.